My Lady Chair, Honorable Deputy Attorney General and Minister for Justice, the National President and Executives of the Association of Magistrates and Judges of Ghana, National President of the Ghana Bar Association, my Lord Justice of the Superior Court of Judicature, retired judges, I can identify Justice Duce and Justice Gobi as present. Your Honors and Your Worships, the Director of the Ghana Law School, the National President of the Judicial Service Staff Association of Ghana, distinguished guests, our friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am happy to be addressing the 41st Annual Conference of the Association of Magistrates and Judges of Ghana. The annual conference is indeed an important event on the calendar of the Judiciary, as it offers an opportunity for all of us to take stock and reflect on our past performances and to resolve to work even harder in fulfillment of our mandate. An occasion such as this is an opportunity for deep reflection and introspection for the purpose of evaluating past performances to identify where we fall short and strategize to secure the future by performing better. I wish to use this occasion, which is certainly the last one for me as Chief Justice, to thank each and every one of you, distinguished members of the Judiciary, for your contribution to justice delivery in Ghana. Obviously, you are the chief instrument for justice delivery and the enforcement of the law. I am therefore particularly grateful to those who have worked so tirelessly to keep the peace of our country generally and especially in the rather difficult task of maintaining law and order. Some of you worked under very challenging conditions in the last year. You deserve commendation. I need not remind you about the aims and objectives of the association, which include promoting the welfare of members and keeping abreast of developments in the law. The association also serves as a link between the administration and its members to ensure that concerns are addressed to maintain conducive working environment. The AMJG must help to educate its members to understand and maintain cordial relations with members of the bench, the bar, and the entire judicial staff, and the public, as our jurisdiction to adjudicate is invoked by the public. The theme for this conference, maintaining the integrity of the judiciary amidst challenges of democratic rights and freedoms, is very apposite. The judiciary exists to serve the justice delivery needs of all Ghanaians without a single exception. The contributions of all and sundry are also invaluable to our very survival as a nation. But clearly, it must be understood that the rights of everybody must be protected within the confines of the law, which lies squarely at the doorstep of the judiciary. Decisions of the courts have sometimes resulted in an outcry within the society. However, the misinterpretations and misunderstandings of court decisions, regardless of the motive with which they are done, and the pressures they exert on you, should not cause you to waver in your fidelity to the law. Yours is to dispense justice and to uphold the rule of law, irrespective of public clamor. As judges and magistrates, you must always withstand such pressures, as anything contrary to that will be a departure from the rule of law. As the country makes progress towards the enhancement of democratic governance, it is important to ensure that our systems work efficiently and effectively to meet the just expectations of our people in whose sovereignty and justice reside. You will agree with me that the judiciary, like all other institutions of state, exists for the sake of the people's welfare, and we cannot afford to disappoint or fail them. This is the real challenge we must endeavor to address, bearing in mind that the ultimate goal of democracy is the enjoyment of all human rights and freedoms by the people within the confines of the law. The point can hardly be articulated that Ghana's justice system, which is underpinned by the rule of law, has been tried and tested over the years. Juxtaposed against the period preceding the country's return to democratic governance, our current justice system strikes chords of appreciation even in established democracies worldwide. As the saying goes, you don't value what you have unless you lose it. Contextually, the consequences of losing what we have in terms of our justice system will be unthinkable. We must therefore individually and collectively do what is humanly possible to prevent losing what we have, bearing in mind that an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. Any strong defense of our justice system does not and cannot obscure the fact that it has its fair share of imperfections as a human institution. Like all human institutions, perfection is an impossible goal. This reality lends credence to constant scrutiny with a view to ensuring that our justice system is firmly on the path of professional rectitude and accountability. In this respect, one effective tool is fair criticism. Indeed, appealing against a judgment or order entails criticizing the judgment or the order. It bears emphasizing that the judiciary is not immune from criticism. Indeed, the judiciary needs criticisms. This will enable this critical institution and verbal threats. This will enable the critical institution to be more responsive to the justice delivery requirements of the public and other pillars of our nation's democracy. While underlying the freedom of the public in general and interest groups in particular to criticize the judiciary, I wish to reiterate that this should always be done within the boundaries of the law. Freedoms everywhere has no absolute value. Simply put, freedom of speech has its limits. This is an uncontestable fact, and we should all bear in mind when dealing with institutions of state like the judiciary. We cannot forbid people from expressing their sentiments in the public sphere, but also associated and wide allegations against judges, physical and verbal threats and attack on judges are abhorrent and tantamount to attempts of perverting the course of justice. These must not be countenanced as they tend to erode the respect and successes we have chalked up as a nation in our democratic journey to the admiration of the international community. It is well known too that some of our judges trained here have served with distinctions outside our jurisdiction. The service, despite the constraints, will continue to strive to provide the necessary tools and the correct working environment to enable you to thrive and give off your very best. We know that the working conditions for some of you, especially those in the suburban areas, is disappointing. We are working to improve the situation. We are investing more resources. We are investing more in old courts infrastructure, including accommodation, while we construct new ones in other areas. I am happy to report that as from next month, we will witness the inauguration of the Court of Appeal Townhouses project at Dennislaw in Kumasi, together with 60 new courthouses and bungalows throughout the country. These are among the over 100 new court infrastructure nationwide promised by the government to improve access to justice. This has been made possible with funding support from the District Assembly's Common Fund. I therefore want to commend the administrator of the Common Fund and government for making this a reality. Preparations are also underway for soft cutting for the commencement of work on the Cape Coast High Court complex opposite Adisade College. Indeed, I had to go to Cape Coast myself to arrange for the acquisition of this land some years back. Work on the High Court complex is on the front burner and will be tackled in phases due to lack of funds now. Efforts to infuse the application of technology in our work in the courtroom is still ongoing under the government's e-transformation program, even though progress has been slower than we anticipated as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic and post-COVID readjustments. We have received increased funding support from the World Bank for the expansion of the e-justice system from the 51 high courts in Accra to the high courts in 5 regional capitals. The World Bank is further supporting the process at the district court level, while the European Union, through the EU delegation in Ghana, is seeking to introduce the intervention at the circuit court level, all on parallel basis. All this is with the aim of ensuring a seamless flow in the court case management system through the application of technology. And this should ram home the fact that the e-justice system has come to stay. I urge you, colleague judges and magistrates, to be particularly abreast of emerging issues surrounding cybersecurity and be alert to protect victims of cyberbullying and other cyber crimes, particularly children and the vulnerable in the society. There are indeed exciting times ahead, and we all must take advantage of the innovations to give our compatriots nothing but the best in justice delivery. We should also be mindful of our judicial oath to ensure absolute fidelity to the rule of law and to work without fear, favor, affection, or ill will, and treat all who come before us equally. On this note, I wish you a productive AGM and pray that the decisions that will be taken will advance the work of the association and even more importantly, result in an improved justice delivery. It is now my singular honor to declare the 41st Annual General Meeting of the Association of Magistrates and Judges of Ghana duly open. May God bless the work of our hands this new legal year and make our nation great and strong. Thank you.